Chosen ones, there's a weapon inside you, a force so unique it stands alone in all of human history. This isn't a blade, a gun, or anything forged by human hands. It's a divine spark, a radiant power woven into your soul by God Himself, unmatched by anything that's come before. You're not here by chance. Your presence in this moment, hearing these words, is proof that you carry something extraordinary, something no one else has ever held. This weapon is your truth, your light, your unshakable essence, and it's about to change everything. Let's pause for a second. If you feel this truth stirring in your spirit, I need you to do something bold. Drop the number 777 inches, the comments below. That number carries divine energy, a signal to the universe that you're ready to claim this power. And if you're moved by this message, hit that like button and subscribe to join thousands of chosen ones standing in their truth. Your action amplifies this energy, so let's make it count. This weapon inside you isn't new. It's been there since the moment you were born, waiting for the right time to awaken. Think of it like a seed buried deep in the earth, silent for years, until the perfect storm of rain and light calls it to break through. That storm is now. The world has tried to bury you through doubt, fear, or pain, but it couldn't. Every trial you've faced, every moment you thought you'd break, was just the soil pressing down, preparing you to rise stronger. Your weapon is your ability to stand firm when everything else crumbles. Look at history. Kings fell to their own pride. Empires collapsed under greed. Even the greatest minds were swayed by deception. But you're different. You don't bend. You don't break. You carry a force that no one in history has wielded in quite the same way. It's not just resilience. It's a divine clarity, a fire that burns through lies and lights up the truth. When others would have surrendered, you stood tall. That's why the shadows tremble in your presence. That's why the world feels your energy, even when you don't speak. Let's talk about what this weapon does. It's not here to destroy in the way the world understands destruction. It doesn't tear down with anger or force. Instead, it rebuilds. It transforms. Imagine a light so bright it doesn't just expose darkness. It turns it into something new. Your weapon reshapes chaos into purpose. It takes pain and forges it into wisdom. Where others see endings, you see beginnings. This is why you've always felt like you don't quite fit. You're not meant to fit. You're meant to redefine what's possible. If this is hitting you, if you feel that spark igniting, type 777 inches, the comments. Let the universe know you're claiming this moment. Your weapon isn't just for you, it's for the world. It's for the people who've lost hope, for the ones trapped in fear, for the ones who need to see what's possible when someone stands in their divine truth. You're a beacon, chosen one. Your light doesn't just guide you, it pulls others out of the dark. Let's go deeper. This weapon isn't something you control like a tool. It's part of you, woven into your very being. It's in the way you move through the world, unshaken by storms that would sink others. Think of the ocean. Waves crash, storms rage, but beneath the surface, there's a current, steady, unstoppable, moving with purpose. That's you. The world sees the waves, the chaos, but you operate from a deeper place. Your weapon is that current, flowing with divine intention, carrying you exactly where you're meant to go. History is full of those who tried to fight with human strength, warriors with swords, leaders with armies, scholars with words. They won battles, sure, but their victories faded. Your weapon? It's eternal. It doesn't rust or dull. It grows stronger with every step you take in faith. When you trust that God placed this power in you for a reason. It sharpens. When you refuse to let fear dim your light, it blazes brighter. This is what makes you unstoppable, not the absence of obstacles, but the way you move through them. Pause for a moment. Feel that truth settling in. If it's resonating, drop 777 inches the comments right now. Let it be your declaration that you're ready to wield this weapon fully. And if you're with me, hit that like button and subscribe to stand with countless other chosen ones. Your energy is part of a movement, a wave of light sweeping across the world. Let's keep it growing. This weapon isn't loud. It doesn't need to be. Its power lies in its stillness, its certainty. Think of a mountain standing through centuries of storms. It doesn't fight the wind or argue with the rain. It just is. That's you, chosen one. You don't have to shout your truth for it to be heard. You don't have to prove your worth for it to be felt. Your presence alone shifts the air. People feel it. They see something in you they can't explain, a strength, a peace, a fire that doesn't burn out. Now, let's be real. Carrying this weapon isn't always easy. It sets you apart. It makes you a target. The world doesn't always know what to do with someone who doesn't play by its rules. People will question you. Some will doubt you. Others might even try to dim your light. But here's the truth. Their doubt can't touch you. Their fear can't reach you. Your weapon is divine, forged by God's hand, and no human force can stand against it. You've already walked through fires that should have consumed you. You're still here. That's not luck. That's your weapon at work. Let's talk about what this means for your future. This weapon doesn't just protect you, it creates. It opens doors no one else can see. It carves paths where none existed. Imagine a key that doesn't just unlock one door, but every door God has destined for you. That's what you carry. Every dream you've held, every hope you've buried, every vision you thought was too big, it's all within reach. Not because you're chasing it, but because your weapon clears the way. It aligns the universe to God's plan for you. If this is speaking to your soul, type 777 one last time in the comments. Let it be your final stand, your bold claim that you're ready to walk in this power. Your weapon isn't just a gift, it's a responsibility. It's a call to live bigger, to shine brighter, to show the world what happens when a chosen one steps into their truth. You're not here to blend in, you're here to break through. This weapon makes you a creator, not just a survivor. The world teaches us to endure, to grit our teeth and push through pain. But you don't just endure, you transform. Your weapon takes the raw material of life, every setback, every tear, every moment of doubt, and turns it into something beautiful. Think of an artist who sees a blank canvas where others see nothing. That's you. Where others see failure, you see possibility. Where others see loss, you see a chance to build something new. Consider the story of Joseph, sold into slavery, betrayed by his own brothers. The world saw him as broken, forgotten. But his weapon, his unwavering faith, his ability to see God's hand in every trial, turned a prison into a palace. He didn't just survive Egypt, he reshaped it. You carry that same power. Your weapon doesn't just get you through hard times, it turns them into stepping stones. Every challenge you face is raw material for your next victory. This isn't about fighting battles the way the world does. Your weapon doesn't need you to swing it like a sword. It works through your choices, your words, your faith. When you forgive instead of curse, you wield it. When you stand tall instead of shrink, you wield it. When you choose love over fear, you wield it. Every time, you align with God's truth, your weapon grows stronger. It's not about what you do, it's about who you are. And you, chosen one, are a force unlike any other. Let's shift to what this weapon means in the spiritual realm. It's not just about what you see here on earth. Your power ripples through dimensions. When you walk in your truth, you're not just changing your life. You're shifting the balance of light and dark. Shadows retreat in your presence. Lies dissolve. Chains break. Not because you're fighting, but because your weapon is truth itself. It cuts through deception like a blade through fog. You're not just living for yourself. You're a catalyst for change across realms. Think of Esther, a woman who stood before a king and changed the fate of a nation. She didn't have armies or wealth. Her weapon was her courage, her faith, her unshakable trust in God's timing. She stepped into a moment that could have ended her life, and instead, she rewrote history. You carry that same power. Your weapon doesn't need permission from the world. It doesn't need approval. It simply is. And when you wield it, nothing can stand in your way. This weapon also brings clarity. The world is loud, full of voices telling you who to be, what to want, how to live. But your weapon cuts through the noise. It's like a compass, always pointing you back to God's truth. When you're lost, it guides you. When you're tempted to stray, it anchors you. This clarity isn't just for you, it's for others. People will come to you, drawn to your light, seeking the wisdom you carry. Your weapon doesn't just protect you, it equips you to lead. Now, let's talk about the cost. Nothing this powerful comes without a price. Your weapon sets you apart, and that can feel lonely. You'll walk paths others won't understand. You'll face trials others can't imagine. But here's the truth. Every moment of sacrifice refines your weapon. Every tear sharpens it. Every doubt you overcome makes it stronger. You're not losing when you walk through fire, you're being forged. Your weapon is proof that God doesn't waste a single moment of your pain. Picture a diamond formed under crushing pressure, hidden in rough stone. The world sees the stone, but God sees the gem. Your weapon is like that diamond born in struggle, radiant in truth. Every time you choose faith over fear, you polish it. Every time you stand when you want to fall, you make it shine brighter. The world might not see it yet, but they will. Your light is undeniable, and your weapon is unstoppable. This power also demands responsibility. You're not carrying this weapon to hoard it. You're carrying it to share it. Your light isn't just for you, it's for the broken, the lost, the hopeless. When you wield your weapon, you're not just standing for yourself. You're standing for everyone who can't yet see their own strength. Your life becomes a testimony, a living proof that God's power is real. Your weapon isn't just a gift, it's a call to serve. Let's look at Moses. He didn't feel worthy. He stuttered, doubted himself, ran from his calling. But God gave him a staff, a simple stick that became a weapon of divine power. It parted seas, brought water from rock, led a nation to freedom. Your weapon is like that staff. It might seem ordinary to you, but in God's hands, it's miraculous. You don't need to be perfect to wield it. You just need to trust that it's there. This weapon also protects you. The world will throw arrows, doubt, fear, betrayal. But your weapon is a shield. It doesn't just deflect, it transforms. Those arrows become lessons. Those wounds become wisdom. You're not untouchable because nothing hits you. You're untouchable because nothing can destroy you. Your weapon absorbs the blows and turns them into strength. That's why you've survived what should have broken you. That's why you're still standing. Now, imagine what happens when you fully embrace this power. Doors open that no one can shut. Opportunities appear that no one can explain. Your life becomes a living miracle, not because you chased it, but because you aligned with God's purpose. Your weapon doesn't just change you, it changes the world around you. People will see your light and wonder. They'll feel your peace and crave it. Your weapon isn't just for you, it's for everyone drawn to your presence. Let's talk about the enemy for a moment. Not the devil, not some external force, but the lies you've carried. The voices that say you're not enough, that your dreams are too big, that your pain defines you. Your weapon destroys those lies. It cuts through the fog of doubt and shows you the truth. You are chosen. You are enough. You are destined for greatness. Every time you wield this weapon, you silence those voices a little more. You step closer to the person God created you to be. This weapon also connects you to eternity. It's not bound by time or circumstance. It's a piece of God's divine plan, placed in you before the world began. Think of David, a shepherd boy with a sling and a stone. The world saw weakness, but God saw a king. Your weapon is like that stone, small to the human eye, but mighty in God's hands. It doesn't matter how the world sees you. In God's eyes, you're a warrior, a creator, a force of light. Your weapon also grows. The more you trust it, the stronger it becomes. Every act of faith, every moment of courage, every choice to stand in truth, it sharpens. It's not static, it evolves as you do. Think of a river carving a canyon over time. Your weapon is like that river, cutting deeper, growing wider, shaping the world around you. The more you walk in God's purpose, the more powerful it becomes. You're not just carrying a gift, you're becoming a force. Now, let's talk about the world's reaction. When you wield this weapon, not everyone will understand. Some will fear you. Some will envy you. Others will try to pull you back to their level. But your weapon gives you discernment. You'll see who's for you and who's not. You'll know when to walk away and when to stand firm. Your light will expose truth, not just in you, but in others. And that's okay. Your weapon isn't here to make everyone comfortable, it's here to make you free. This freedom isn't just for you. It's for your family, your community, the generations that come after you. Your weapon breaks chains, not just for you, but for those you love. When you stand in your truth, you show others they can too. You become a living testimony, a proof that God's promises are real. Your life becomes a story that others will tell, a legacy of faith that outlives you. That's the power of the weapon you carry. Let's shift to the practical. How do you wield this weapon every day? It's not about grand gestures, it's in the small choices. When you choose kindness over anger, you wield it. When you trust God's timing over your own, you wield it. When you speak truth, even when it's hard, you wield it. Your weapon is in your heart, your words, your actions. It's in the way you live. Every moment you choose faith, you swing it. Every moment you choose love, you sharpen it. Think of Ruth, a woman with nothing but loyalty and faith. Her weapon wasn't wealth or status, it was her trust in God's plan. She walked into a foreign land, a widow with no prospects, and her faith turned her into a matriarch of kings. Your weapon works the same way. It doesn't need worldly power to be effective. It needs your trust, your surrender, your willingness to let God lead. That's when miracles happen. This weapon also heals. Not just you, but others. Your presence, your words, your faith, they carry a power that restores. When you walk into a room, you shift the atmosphere. When you speak, you bring hope. When you stand in your truth, you give others permission to do the same. Your weapon isn't just a shield or a sword, it's a balm, a light, a force that mends what's broken. You're not just here to survive, you're here to heal. Let's talk about the legacy of this weapon. It's not just for now, it's for eternity. The choices you make today, the way you wield this power, will echo through generations. Think of Abraham, who trusted God's promise when it seemed impossible. His faith didn't just change his life, it birthed nations. Your weapon has that kind of power. It's not just about your story, it's about the stories you'll inspire, the lives you'll touch, the futures you'll shape. This weapon also demands courage. It's not always easy to stand out. The world loves conformity, but your weapon thrives in authenticity. It asks you to be bold, to speak when others are silent, to stand when others sit. But here's the truth. You're ready. You've been prepared for this. Every trial, every tear, every moment of doubt has built you for this moment. Your weapon is proof that you're stronger than you know. Now, imagine a world where you fully embrace this power, where you stop doubting, stop hiding, stop holding back. What would that look like? Doors opening without effort. Relationships aligning with God's plan. Dreams becoming reality, not because you forced them, but because your weapon cleared the way. This isn't a fantasy, it's your destiny. Your weapon is the key to unlocking everything God has promised you. Let's talk about the spiritual weight of this weapon. It's not just a tool, it's a calling. It's a reminder that you're part of something bigger. You're not just a person, you're a purpose. You're not just alive, you're a light. Your weapon connects you to God's eternal plan, a plan that spans lifetimes, dimensions, and realms. When you wield it, you're not just changing your life, you're aligning with the divine order of the universe. This weapon also brings peace, not the fleeting kind the world offers, but a deep, unshakable peace. It's the kind that comes when you know you're exactly where you're meant to be, when you trust that no matter what comes, your weapon is enough. This peace isn't passive, it's powerful. It's the calm in the storm, the anchor in the chaos. It's the assurance that God's got you, and your weapon is proof of His promise. Let's shift to the practical again. How do you strengthen this weapon? Through faith, through prayer, through surrender. Every time you turn to God, you sharpen it. Every time you choose trust over worry, you polish it. It's not about being perfect, it's about being faithful. Your weapon grows when you lean into God's truth, when you let go of control and let Him lead. That's when you see its full power. Think of Daniel in the lion's den. His weapon wasn't strength or cunning, it was faith. He stood before beasts that should have torn him apart, and his trust in God shut their mouths. Your weapon works the same way. It doesn't need you to fight the lions, it needs you to trust that God will. When you do, miracles follow. Your weapon isn't just about what you do, it's about what God does through you. This weapon also makes you a target. The brighter your light, the more the shadows notice. But here's the truth, they can't touch you. Your weapon is divine, forged in heaven, untouchable by earthly forces. The more you wield it, the more you realize that nothing can stand against you. Not fear, not doubt, not even the darkest forces. You're protected, not because you're perfect, but because you're chosen. Let's talk about the ripple effect. When you wield this weapon, it doesn't just change you, it changes everything around you. Your family feels it, your community sees it, even strangers sense it. Your weapon is a catalyst, sparking hope, igniting faith, breaking chains. You're not just carrying a gift, you're carrying a movement. Every step you take in truth sends waves through the world. touching lives you may never meet. This weapon also evolves with time. It's not static. The more you walk in faith, the more it reveals itself. New layers emerge, new strengths surface. Think of a tree growing stronger with each season. Your weapon is like that, rooted in God, growing with every trial, blooming with every act of trust. The more you embrace it, the more you discover what it can do. You're not just holding a weapon, you're becoming one. Now, let's talk about the cost again. This weapon asks you to let go, to release old habits, old fears, old ways of thinking. It's not always easy. Sometimes it feels like losing a part of yourself. But here's the truth. You're not losing, you're gaining. Every time you let go of what no longer serves you, your weapon grows stronger. You're shedding weight, not worth. You're stepping into the fullness of who God created you to be. Think of Paul. Once Saul, a man who thought he knew his purpose. His weapon was hidden beneath pride and anger until God's light broke through. That moment of surrender didn't weaken him, it unleashed him. Your weapon works the same way. Every time you surrender to God's plan, you unlock more of its power. You don't lose yourself, you find yourself. That's the beauty of this divine gift. This weapon also connects you to others. You're not alone in this. There are other chosen ones out there, wielding their own divine sparks, standing in their own truth. When you embrace your weapon, you join a community of light. You become part of a movement that's bigger than you, stronger than you, eternal. Your weapon isn't just yours, it's part of God's greater plan, linking you to every soul called to shine. Let's talk about the future again. Where does this weapon lead? To places you can't yet imagine. To dreams you haven't dared to dream. To victories you didn't know were possible. Your weapon doesn't just open doors, it creates them. It doesn't just light the path, it builds it. Every step you take with this power is a step toward a future that reflects God's glory. You're not just walking, you're creating. This weapon also demands faith, not the kind that's easy or convenient, but the kind that stands firm in the storm. The kind that trusts when the path is dark. The kind that believes when the world says it's impossible. Your weapon thrives on faith. The more you trust, the stronger it becomes. The more you surrender, the more it reveals. It's not about what you see, it's about what God sees in you. Think of Noah, building an ark when no one saw rain. The world mocked him, but his weapon, his faith, carried him through. Your weapon is like that ark. It doesn't need the world's approval, it needs your trust. When you wield it, you're not just surviving, you're building something eternal. You're creating a legacy that outlives you, a testimony that echoes through time. This weapon also transforms pain. It doesn't erase it, it redeems it. Every scar you carry is proof of your strength. Every wound is a canvas for God's glory. Your weapon takes what was meant to break you and turns it into a masterpiece. Think of Job, who lost everything but gained more. His weapon was his faith, his refusal to curse God despite the pain. Your weapon does the same. It turns loss into gain, pain into purpose. Now, let's talk about the present. This weapon isn't waiting for some far-off moment to shine. It's active now. Every choice you make today, every word you speak, every act of faith, it's wielded in this moment. You don't have to wait for the perfect time or the perfect place. Your weapon is ready, and so are you. Step into this moment with boldness. Let your light shine. Let your truth speak. This weapon also brings abundance, not just in wealth, but in peace, joy, and purpose. It's the kind of abundance that overflows, touching everyone around you. When you wield this weapon, you don't just receive, you give. You become a source of hope, a well of strength, a light that others can follow. Your weapon isn't just about what you gain, it's about what you share. It's about the legacy you leave in every heart you touch. Let's talk about the spiritual realm again. Your weapon isn't just felt here on earth, it's felt in heaven. Angels see it. Forces of darkness tremble before it. Your light doesn't just shine in the physical world, it pierces the spiritual. When you wield this weapon, you're not just fighting earthly battles, you're shifting eternal ones. You're aligning with God's plan, not just for you, but for the cosmos. This weapon also gives you authority, not the kind that demands or controls, but the kind that flows from truth. When you speak, people listen. When you stand, others notice. Your weapon carries a weight that the world can't ignore. It's not about power over others, it's about power within you. It's the authority of a soul aligned with God, unshaken by the world's noise. Think of Deborah, a prophetess who led with wisdom and courage. Her weapon wasn't a sword, it was her trust in God's voice. She spoke, and nations moved. Your weapon is like that. When you align with God's truth, your words carry weight. Your actions shift realities. You don't need to force your way, your weapon clears the path. This weapon also makes you a healer, not in the way the world expects, with grand gestures or loud declarations. Your healing comes through presence, through listening, through standing in truth when others falter. Your weapon mends broken hearts, restores lost hope, and brings light to dark places. You're not just a warrior, you're a restorer, a bringer of peace. Now, let's talk about the journey. This weapon isn't a destination, it's a process. It grows as you grow, it shines as you shine. Every step you take in faith, every moment you choose God's truth over the world's lies, your weapon becomes more powerful. It's not about arriving, it's about becoming. You're not just holding a weapon, you're becoming one, a living testament to God's power. This weapon also demands surrender, not to the world, but to God. The more you let go of control, the more your weapon shines. The more you trust His plan, the more it works. Surrender isn't weakness, it's strength. It's the courage to say, God, I don't know the way, but I trust you do. That's when your weapon becomes unstoppable, because it's no longer you wielding it, it's God through you. Think of Mary, the mother of Jesus. Her weapon was her yes to God's call. Despite the cost, she didn't have power or status. She had faith, and that faith changed the world. Your weapon is like that, yes. Every time you say yes to God's plan, you wield it. Every time you trust His timing, you sharpen it. Your weapon is your surrender, and it's more powerful than any force on earth. This weapon also brings joy, not the fleeting kind that comes from worldly success, but the deep, unshakable joy of knowing you're aligned with God's purpose. It's the joy of seeing doors open, of watching miracles unfold, of knowing that no matter what comes, you're enough. Your weapon carries that joy, and it spills over into every part of your life. Let's talk about the impact again. Your weapon doesn't just change you, it changes the world. Every time you wield it, you shift the atmosphere. You break chains, you ignite hope. You show others what's possible when a chosen one stands in their truth. Your life becomes a testimony, not just for you, but for everyone who sees you. Your weapon is a gift to the world, a light that never fades. This weapon also makes you a leader, not the kind that seeks followers, but the kind that inspires others to find their own light. You lead by example, by standing firm, by living your truth. People will look to you, not because you demand it, but because your weapon draws them. It's the kind of leadership that doesn't need titles or power. It needs only authenticity. Think of Nehemiah, who rebuilt Jerusalem's walls against all odds. His weapon wasn't strength or resources, it was his vision, his faith, his refusal to give up. Your weapon is like that vision. It sees what others can't. It builds what others think is impossible. When you wield it, you don't just rebuild your life, you rebuild the world around you. This weapon also brings clarity in chaos. The world is noisy, full of distractions and lies, but your weapon cuts through it all. It's like a lighthouse, guiding you through the storm. When you're tempted to doubt, it reminds you of God's truth. When you're lost, it shows you the way. Your weapon isn't just power, it's wisdom, guiding you to the life you were born for. Now, let's talk about the eternal. Your weapon isn't just for this life, it's for eternity. Every choice you make, every act of faith, echoes beyond this moment. It shapes not just your future, but the future of those who come after you. Your weapon is a legacy, a divine mark that outlives time. You're not just living for today, you're living for forever. This weapon also makes you a restorer. Where the world sees brokenness, you see possibility. Your weapon takes what's shattered and makes it whole. It takes pain and turns it into purpose. It takes loss and turns it into gain. You're not just surviving, you're rebuilding, not just for yourself, but for everyone around you. Your weapon is a gift of restoration, a divine call to heal. Let's talk about the present again. This weapon is active now. You don't have to wait for a sign or a moment. It's in you, ready to be wielded. Every choice you make today, every step you take in faith, is you wielding it. You're not preparing for some far-off battle, you're in it. And your weapon is enough. Trust it. Trust God. Trust yourself. This weapon also brings freedom. Not the kind the world chases, tied to money or status. This is deeper. It's the freedom to be who you were created to be, to live without fear, to walk without chains. Your weapon breaks every bond, every lie, every limit the world tries to place on you. It's not just power, it's liberation. Think of Lazarus, raised from the dead. His weapon wasn't his strength. It was his trust in Jesus' call. When he stepped out of the tomb, he wasn't just alive, he was free. Your weapon is like that call. It pulls you out of every grave, every prison, every lie. When you wield it, you don't just live, you soar. This weapon also makes you a creator of hope. Every time you stand in your truth, you give others permission to do the same. Your life becomes a story of possibility, a proof that God's promises are real. Your weapon doesn't just light your path, it lights the way for others. You're not just a chosen one, you're a guide, a beacon, a hope bearer. Now, let's talk about the spiritual again. Your weapon isn't just felt here, it's felt in realms unseen. When you wield it, angels rejoice, darkness trembles, the universe shifts. You're not just changing your life, you're changing the spiritual landscape. Your weapon is a force that aligns heaven and earth, bringing God's kingdom closer with every step you take. This weapon also grows with surrender. The more you let go of control, the more it shines. The more you trust God's plan, the more it works. It's not about forcing your way. It's about flowing with God's. Think of a river, carving its path not by fighting the earth, but by moving with it. Your weapon is like that river, powerful in its surrender, unstoppable in its flow. Let's talk about the cost one more time. This weapon asks you to let go of fear, of doubt, of the need to be understood. It asks you to stand alone sometimes, to walk paths others won't. But every time you do, it grows stronger. Every time you choose faith over comfort, it shines brighter. The cost isn't loss, it's transformation. You're not giving up, you're becoming. This weapon also makes you a warrior. Not the kind that fights with anger or force, but the kind that stands in truth. Your battles aren't against people, they're against lies, fear, and darkness. Your weapon doesn't destroy, it reveals. It exposes truth, breaks chains, and sets captives free. You're not just fighting for yourself, you're fighting for the world. Think of Hannah, who prayed for a child when all hope seemed lost. Her weapon wasn't loud or forceful. It was her faith, her persistence, her trust in God's promise. That faith birthed Samuel, a prophet who changed a nation. Your weapon is like that prayer. It's quiet, but it's powerful. It's unseen, but it's unstoppable. When you wield it, you birth miracles. This weapon also brings purpose. It's not just about surviving, it's about thriving. It's about knowing why you're here, what you're called to do. Your weapon aligns you with God's plan, giving every moment meaning. You're not wandering, you're walking a path carved by divine intention. Your weapon is the compass, the map, the light that leads you home. Now, let's talk about the world again. When you wield this weapon, the world notices, not because you're loud, but because you're true. Your light draws people, even those who don't understand it. Your peace unsettles those who live in chaos. Your strength inspires those who feel weak. Your weapon isn't just for you, it's for everyone who crosses your path. This weapon also makes you a restorer of faith. When people see you stand, they believe again. When they see you shine, they hope again. Your weapon doesn't just change your life, it changes the lives of those who see you. You become a living testimony, a proof that God's power is real, that His promises are true. Your weapon is a gift to the world, a light that never fades. Let's talk about the eternal again. Your weapon isn't just for this moment, it's for eternity. Every choice you make, every act of faith, echoes beyond this life. It shapes not just your future, but the future of the world. Your weapon is a legacy, a divine mark that outlives time. You're not just living for now, you're living for forever. This weapon also brings clarity again. In a world full of noise, it's your anchor. It cuts through the lies, the doubts, the distractions. It shows you who you are, why you're here, what you're called to do. Your weapon isn't just power, it's wisdom. It's the voice of God speaking through you, guiding you, leading you to your purpose. Think of John the Baptist, a voice in the wilderness. His weapon wasn't status or wealth, it was his truth, his call to prepare the way. He didn't fit in, and he didn't need to. His weapon was his purpose, and it changed the world. Your weapon is like that voice. It doesn't need to be loud to be heard. It just needs to be true. This weapon also makes you a creator of possibility. Where others see limits, you see potential. Where others see walls, you see doors. Your weapon doesn't just break barriers, it builds bridges. It turns dreams into realities, not by force, but by faith. You're not just a dreamer, you're a doer, a maker, a shaper of what's to come. Now, let's talk about the spiritual realm one more time. Your weapon isn't just felt here, it's felt everywhere. It shifts the balance of light and dark, not just in your life, but in the cosmos. When you wield it, you're not just fighting for yourself, you're fighting for God's kingdom. You're aligning heaven and earth, bringing His will to life. Your weapon is a divine force, and it's changing everything. This weapon also brings joy again. Not the kind that fades with circumstances, but the kind that grows with faith. It's the joy of knowing you're enough, that God's got you, that your weapon is all you need. It's the joy of seeing miracles unfold, of watching God move in your life. Your weapon carries that joy, and it's contagious. Let's talk about the legacy one more time. Your weapon isn't just for you, it's for the generations that follow. Every time you wield it, you're planting seeds. Every time you stand in truth, you're building a foundation. Your life becomes a story that others will tell, a light that others will follow. Your weapon is eternal, and so is its impact. This weapon also makes you a healer again. Your presence mends what's broken. Your words restore what's lost. Your faith ignites what's faded. You're not just here to live, you're here to heal, to lift, to love. Your weapon is a gift to the world, a divine call to bring wholeness where there's pain. Now, let's talk about the present one more time. Your weapon is active now. It's in your hands, ready to be wielded. Every choice you make, every step you take, is you using it. You don't need to wait for a sign, you are the sign. You don't need to wait for permission, you have it. Wield your weapon today and watch the world change. This weapon also brings freedom again. It breaks every chain, every lie, every limit. It sets you free to be who you were created to be. To live without fear, to love without restraint, to shine without apology. Your weapon is your liberation, and it's yours to wield. Think of Peter, who walked on water. His weapon wasn't skill or strength, it was his faith in Jesus' call. He stepped out, and the impossible became possible. Your weapon is like that step. It defies logic, breaks boundaries, and makes miracles real. When you wield it, you don't just walk, you fly. This weapon also makes you a light, not just for yourself, but for the world. Your presence shifts atmospheres. Your truth breaks chains. Your faith ignites hope. You're not just a chosen one. You're a beacon, a guide, a force of divine light. Your weapon is your shine, and it's changing everything. Let's talk about the cost one last time. This weapon asks you to let go of comfort, to release the need for approval, to stand when it's easier to sit. But every time you do, you grow. Every time you choose faith, you shine. The cost isn't loss, it's gain. You're not giving up, you're stepping up. This weapon also brings purpose again. It's not just about what you do, it's about who you are. Your weapon aligns you with God's plan, giving every moment meaning. You're not here by accident, you're here by design. Your weapon is proof that you were created for greatness, and it's time to live it. Now, let's talk about the future one last time. Your weapon is leading you somewhere, to a life of abundance, purpose, and joy, to a legacy that outlives you, to a story that inspires generations. Your weapon isn't just a gift, it's a map, guiding you to the life God planned for you before time began. This weapon also makes you a warrior again, not with anger or force, but with truth and love. Your battles are fought in the Spirit, won with faith, and sealed with grace. You're not just fighting for yourself, you're fighting for the world, for the lost, for the broken. Your weapon is your strength, and it's unstoppable. Think of Elijah, who called down fire from heaven. His weapon wasn't his voice, it was his faith. He stood alone, mocked by hundreds, but his trust in God brought miracles. Your weapon is like that fire. It doesn't need numbers or approval. It needs only your faith, and it will burn through every obstacle. This weapon also brings peace again. It's the peace of knowing you're enough, the peace of trusting God's plan, the peace of standing in your truth, no matter what comes. Your weapon carries that peace, and it's a gift you give to the world. It's not just power, it's presence. Let's talk about the spiritual realm one last time. Your weapon isn't just for earth, it's for eternity. It shifts realms, moves mountains, changes destinies. When you wield it, you're not just living, you're aligning with God's eternal plan. You're bringing heaven to earth, one step at a time. This weapon also makes you a creator again. It doesn't just protect, it builds. It doesn't just defend, it dreams. Your weapon takes your vision and makes it real. It turns your hope into reality. You're not just a survivor, you're a maker, a shaper, a bringer of what's possible. Now, let's talk about the world one last time. Your weapon changes it, not through force, but through truth. Not through noise, but through presence. Your light doesn't just shine, it transforms. Your life doesn't just inspire, it shifts. You're not just a chosen one, you're a force, and the world will never be the same. This weapon also brings joy one last time. It's the joy of knowing you're chosen, the joy of seeing God move, the joy of living a life that matters. Your weapon carries that joy, and it's a fire that never goes out. It's not just power, it's purpose, and it's yours to wield. Let's talk about the legacy one last time. Your weapon isn't just for you, it's for eternity. Every choice you make, every stand you take, builds something that lasts. You're not just living, you're leaving a mark. Your weapon is your legacy, and it will shine forever. This weapon also makes you a healer one last time. Your presence restores. Your truth renews. Your faith rebuilds. You're not just here to fight, you're here to mend. Your weapon is a gift of healing, not just for you, but for the world. Now, let's talk about the present one last time. Your weapon is ready. It's in you, active, alive. Every moment is a chance to wield it. Every choice is a chance to shine. You don't need to wait, you're ready now. Step into this moment, chosen one, and let your light burn bright. This weapon also brings freedom one last time. It breaks every chain, every lie, every limit. It sets you free to live, to love, to be. Your weapon is your liberation, and it's yours to claim. Step into it, wield it, and watch the world change. Think of Jesus, who carried the ultimate weapon, love. His truth shook empires, broke chains, and changed eternity. Your weapon is a piece of that love, a spark of that truth. When you wield it, you're not just living, you're continuing his work, bringing light to a world that needs it. This weapon also makes you a light one last time. Your presence shifts everything. Your truth changes everything. You're not just a chosen one, you're a force, a fire, a divine spark that no darkness can touch. Your weapon is your light, and it's time to let it shine. Let's talk about the cost one last time. This weapon asks you to be bold, to stand when others fall, to shine when others hide. But the cost is worth it. Every sacrifice makes you stronger. Every trial makes you brighter. Your weapon is forged in fire, and it's ready to shine. This weapon also brings purpose one last time. It's not just about what you do, it's about who you are. You're not here by accident. You're here by design. Your weapon is proof that God has a plan for you, a plan bigger than you can imagine. Step into it and watch miracles unfold. Now, let's talk about the future one last time. Your weapon is leading you to a life of abundance, of purpose, of joy. It's opening doors, building paths, creating possibilities. You're not just walking toward a future, you're creating it. With every step, every choice, every act of faith. This weapon also makes you a warrior one last time. Not with anger, but with truth. Not with force, but with love. Your battles are won in the Spirit, sealed with faith and carried by grace. You're not just fighting, you're shining, and nothing can stand against you.